Oh, bloody advert. She put monetising on.
No, you can skip it in 5 seconds.
Right, we are live on YouTube, but we just need to wait for Facebook. Facebook waits that exact moment.
Are we muted? Yeah, we're definitely muted. 100% muted. Okay. We've had one.
Hello. Hello everyone, and welcome to the WTF1 Grand Prix here from Buckmore Park. I'm Matthew Gallagher, and joining me is my man Kelvin van der Linde, Nürburgring 24-hour winner. How are you doing, dude?
I'm well, and you?
I'm very, very well. I cannot wait. The qualifying is underway right now. You'll see the action very shortly as the race, I think, gets underway in about 10-15 minutes' time. As you can see, we're both taking part as well. What does it mean, Kelvin, to be part of this inaugural WTF1 event here at Buckmore?
Well, it's obviously one of the biggest races of the year, a lot of manufacturer involvement, and you know, that's why I had to fly all the way from Germany to come do this race. So I'm really thrilled to be here with you on a team. I think we're gonna ace it.
You're making me blush. You're probably wondering what the race format is like. So we have 60 minutes of racing coming up. So it's going to be 20-minute stints for us. Lando Norris is the other man joining us, McLaren F1 reserve driver. Probably going to be in Formula 1 quite soon, isn't he? Wink. But yeah, it should be really, really good. We've got quite a good team, although I don't think we're doing too well in qualifying right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's our race suit that's a bit too big. We're making too much drag out there. I don't know what it is. We've got to look some data, Matt.
Weight reduction, we definitely need it. So it's actually 12 turns, 1,000 metres of racetrack, one straight. Do you see, Kelvin, any overtaking opportunities out there for us a little bit later? Because it looks like from qualifying at the moment, we'll need to do some overtaking.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of chaos going out there, so we need to really get creative. I think with the traffic out there, some cars spinning around, so you know, we're going to try some different lines and see what works best.
Yes, and you'll be able to follow all of that with our commentator, Andrew Mather, who will be on the comms, won't you, Andrew?
I will be indeed. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me along.
It's going to be absolutely awesome. It's not raining as well, which is so good because karting can be very, very difficult in the wet, as I'm sure you're aware because you're a racing driver.
Yeah, but I haven't driven at Buckmore Park in the wet yet.
Excuses.
Should get interesting.
I love how the minute you walked in, it was, yeah. Are we not that? We're not quick, are we? We're not quick at all. It's definitely the overalls, definitely the weight reduction that we definitely.
I was definitely trying. So.
So was I. There's massive, massive skill comparisons out there. You know, there's people out here that are at Buckmore all the time. You know, smashing out laps week in, week out. You've got other people that I nearly rammed into the back of very hard because it's their first time. But that's nice because here at WTF1 we allow everyone to be part of this event. And actually, look at that, we can see some action right now. It's quite an interesting track as well. Obviously, this is your first time here. What have you noticed about the undulations and stuff that's going on?
Yeah, well, it's cool because, like you say, it's going up, it's going down. There's lots of... Wow. That was a Kimi Räikkönen comment. No, but it's quite a lot of fun. Maybe if I get a bit faster, I'll enjoy it a bit more. But for now, it's still learning the track and getting up to speed.
That competitive spirit coming out right now. I think it's about time. I think qualifying's about to end. So let's hand over to Andrew Mather and all of the racing action we're going to see unfold.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for that wonderful intro. And yes, qualifying is coming to an end. That's the minutes So very, very tight up at the front. Good to see always with Arrive and Drive Karting. The equal machinery producing some fascinating results in terms of qualifying. So we've got 4 minutes to go. Limitless Racing currently on pole position with a 49.329. P&O Ferries are second, half a second behind, and JDR, Jack Dex Racing, minute 24, are third. But as we've mentioned already, a big field, 35 karts. It's a long race, 1 hour, and yes, qualifying is important, but there's time there to be able to pull your way back through the grid if you don't have such a good qualifying. Conditions are perfect, I'd say. We're in the low 20s. It's dry. It's not too hot. It's a very physical circuit, this at Buckmore Park, especially with the undulation changes, some fast speed corners, and some pretty big curbs around the circuit as well that can really give your less experienced drivers a bit of a hard time. So the fact that it's not too hot, that it's not 28 degrees as it has been the last couple of weeks, I think is good for everybody. There was a little bit of a worry yesterday with the heavy rain that we were going to have wet conditions today, which would have made things very, very tricky for the drivers. But that's not the case, glad to report. Very green track out there though, so I reckon we're going to see the track develop with so many karts out there. As I say, 35 karts out on track today. It's going to rubber in fairly quickly, and we're going to get some quick times in, especially towards the latter stage of the race as the fuel starts to go down. You can interact with us on the stream as well. We're on Facebook and on YouTube today. So do put your comments into us on the stream below. I can see there's a lot of you already watching. It's great to have you with us. So 2 minutes of the qualifying session to go. Just to go through the Limitless Racing team, James Doherty and Jack Goldsmith racing for them. Jack's a very quick driver as well. Jack's a driver that I've had the pleasure of racing against from time to time as well. I say racing, more just sharing the same piece of tarmac as he comes flying by. But he's out there. I can see a comment saying, where is Lando? Lando, I think, is actually out on track right now. Going round. Great to have him here. The number 21 comes out of the pit lane. That's 4Q Racing, who've just done a driver change. Maybe they're trying to put a fast driver in for the last couple of minutes in this qualifying session. Got the timing board on the left-hand side. That's going to help us all. So, as I say, Limitless Racing still your pole position holders at the moment on a 49.329. Half a second clear still of P&O Ferries. So, karts coming over the line now will be, well, they'll get one more lap in and possibly another one as well. So Lando Norris fly through in the number 17. So 2 karts from WTF1 we want to look out for, number 17 and 18. There's the number 27, and it is indeed Jack Goldsmith currently at the wheel of that kart. .34 seconds to go then in the qualifying session. So all of these karts coming across the line now will get one more lap. Andrew Cowell that goes there in number 3, the Subby 1 team. Can anybody beat the 49.329 of Limitless Racing? At the moment, doesn't look like so. It looks like they've done enough to get pole position, but there are a lot of fast drivers. There goes Lando Norris across the line. He's going to start another lap. That was perfectly timed. Ed Bars starts another lap as well in the number 11. We know how quick he is round this circuit, and across the line. So checkered flag is out. Limitless Racing have done a 49.597 to finish their qualifying session. So not quicker, but consistent pace there for the number 27. Should serve them very, very well. P&O Ferry still there in second place. Ultima, the number 15, have just popped up to 4th place late on there. Will anybody else be able to beat that time? And I think a top 10 position would be good for any of these teams. Number 15 comes across the line. That is indeed Ultima, so they can't improve. But consistent pace yet again. Across the line there comes the number 8 and the 17. Oh, great last lap there by Lando Norris. Right at the end of the qualifying session, 5th place. And it's a 50.222, so it's right up there. And that will make Matt's team very, very happy that they are up at the front end of the grid. So that's the qualifying session done. Limitless Racing are indeed your pole position winners. The number 27 kart with a 49.329, which is only 0.2 of a second, or less than 0.2 of a second off the lap record round here. So that's a very impressive lap time indeed. P&O Ferries second, JDR third, Ultima fourth, WTF1, the one team, so of the 2 teams, that's the first team. That's Matty's team. 5th, right at the end there, and then the rest of the field. Let's tell you a little bit about this circuit then, whilst we've got a bit of a break in proceedings, whilst the grid gets formed for this 1-hour endurance race. Buckmore Park, founded and built in 1963, and was of course purchased by the late great John Surtees in April 2015, and a circuit that's gone a lot of changes in terms of its infrastructure. You'll see a lot of the Tech Pro barriers. It's a really good-looking circuit these days. Always has been. But the bit that hasn't changed that much in, say, the last 20 years or so is the track layout. It's a real favourite amongst the drivers. 1 kilometre circuit, 12 corners. Recent developments have seen this brand new fleet of state-of-the-art Sodi RT8 karts. Those are the ones that we are driving today. Be bought by the circuit. You can come down here and race them if you want. And I very much recommend that you do, because they are really, this is one of the best fleets of hire karts in the country, if you ask me. Forging ahead as well with a new advanced E-flag lighting system installed this summer. There is the 27 kart that is now on pole position. And really the vision of John Surtees to make Buckmore Park one of the most technologically advanced circuits in the world have definitely come to the fore. Matt's going to join me on the commentary for a little bit. He pulled it out the bag for you, didn't he? Right at the end, Mr. Norris.
Yeah, he did. I'm glad he did, because he's a McLaren Formula 1 reserve driver, so I hope that with the team we'd fielded, we could get a little bit higher up the field. But still 1.1 off the pace. But Lando has been on social media quite vocally saying that this is only his 2nd time being at Buckmore. So
Really?
Yeah, he's only been here one other time.
Oh, see, I just assumed that he must have been around here quite a few times. It's a regular circuit on the MSA and Super One calendar, quite famously. I mean, we are stood in the John Button Suite as we commentate. Jensen raced down here a lot in his younger years. Lewis Hamilton as well, of course. And I always remember back when I was a lad. I don't think I can consider myself a lad anymore. I'm too old. Reading copies of magazines and seeing adverts for Buckmore Park in like the back pages, and it was always Johnny Herbert. Yeah. Who was the face of Buckmore Park back then.
I noticed that as well. There's a lot of Johnny Herbert, which is good. He was a great driver.
He was indeed.
Until his accident, unfortunately. Lando just got out of the kart, which I'm slightly concerned about. I hope he's not going to come all the way back here, because he is starting the race for us. Otherwise, we've just got an empty kart on the grid. But it's an awesome event. I'm absolutely chuffed that this is happening. A WTF1 event, and we didn't really know how it would go down with the fans. And to see 105 drivers and 35 teams sell out within two days was absolutely mental. And I think with 35 karts on the grid, it could be an interesting first 2 laps.
I think it could be a very interesting first 2 laps, especially down into those 2 hairpins, which, if you ask me, are the best chances to overtake around this Buckmore circuit, especially hairpin 2. The entry to it's so wide, you can very, very easily do a block pass. But as you say, first couple of laps, everyone charging in, everyone trying to get themselves further up the order. If they've, say, started in the middle of the pack, it's going to produce a very, very interesting first couple of laps.
I imagine that with Lando obviously not being here that often, he was learning the track, if anything, in that very short space of time. But having those quicker karts in front of him, he'll be able to learn quite quickly where they're gaining time. I'd imagine so anyway. It's Lando Norris, let's be real. But I'm hoping so as well for our sake, because I was hoping for some kind of lead before I get in the kart, because not so great of a kart driver, but I'm going in the last stint, so it should be an interesting one, as all the karts are lining up. There's 35 of them. It's quite the job to get them all in the right order for after qualifying.
I think you're doing yourself a disservice. I watched you earlier, you're looking pretty good out there in the 52s. Although, did you know that as you came in for your pit stop, you'd gone faster or done PBs in Sector 1 and Sector 2?
But I was kind of...
I was like, what's he doing?
I was in the cart and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I kind of got held up in the last couple of corners, but I was like, I think we might be going live. So I don't really want to be going round and round and round to then have Jess coming up, going, get in! So I decided to be safe, and I don't think I would have set a time that Lando did. So better to get those guys in, I think.
Got to say, this the front of this grid, a lot of the drivers I'm looking at here, especially Jack Goldsmith on the left of your screen and Piers Pryor on the right, very, very quick drivers that I've watched before.
Jack has the lap record, isn't that right?
Lap record currently is Jake Taplin on a 49.1, but Jack went pretty close in that qualifying session, only less than 2/10 off the lap record. That lap from Jack was set back in June. And I was saying earlier at the top of the commentary, I'd say conditions today, probably, especially for an endurance race, probably perfect. It's not too hot. It's dry, of course. So it's gonna lend itself to very consistent lap times coming in.
I hope so. And with it being such a skill difference between the top and the bottom of the field, I hope that everyone can have an enjoyable time, because as much as this is a race and it is very, very serious, it's also, we want everyone to enjoy themselves and not get a little bit too hot. So again, the last 2 days have been ridiculously bad, so I'm really glad that it's just dry, to be honest, and hopefully consistent and not too many crashes, because that's not what we want to see.
Of course. Also a comment, we have a couple of comments coming in asking who's on the front of the grid. As we said, Jack Goldsmith on the left of your screen there for the number 27 Limitless Racing Team. But Piers Pryor as well, a driver whose exploits I'm aware of, won the Henry Surtees Challenge race here at Buckmore Park a couple of years ago. Very, very quick driver indeed. So this is going to be a really tight battle, I think, at the front of this race, especially for the first 20 minutes. We'll see what happens as the driver changes start to occur. But a very high-quality field here today at Buckmore Park.
I would hope so. I'd hope so. There's a lot of fans out there that kart all the time, and I'm really glad that a lot of them have turned up today as well. You can see them all in their little custom suits and everything. I'm loving to see that. I unfortunately don't have my own custom suit. I'd like that bought. Thank you very much. But it should be a really interesting one. There's a few people. Oh, I've got a question. Which one is Lando Norris? Is that the one you're after? Yeah. Which one is Lando Norris? So
he'll be
fifth.
Fifth on the grid. So third back on the left-hand side of the grid as we are looking at it on the screen.
And kart number 17. So that's the WTF1 1 team. So that's the one that I'm in as well. And I'm not going to be as quick as those guys, but hopefully it will be. I won't get mugged when I get in a little bit later on. But as you say, it should be really good at the start of the race. We were here a couple of months ago for another Grand Prix, the Motor Industry Grand Prix.
Yep.
And we had Jack Aitken in our team, and he was up against one of the guys that races here quite a lot, and they were side by side for about 15 laps, I think. So I think, again, it should be the same with these guys, because they were very close in qualifying from what I briefly saw.
Let's go through some of the teams further down, because there's some fantastic team names that I'm looking through. So we've got the two race active teams, 1 and 2, Subby 1, 2 and 3. So there's some groups that have come here with multiple carts or multiple entries in.
Wow.
The P&O Ferries, and I think we've got 1 minute to go before the start of the race. My favourite, though, has got to be number 8, which is Castamard Lol. Although I want, being an F1 nerd, I want an A on the end. I want it to be Castamard Lola.
It looks like we're about to have lights out. Nope, well, I hope not. That's Lando getting out of his cart. So he's had enough. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, be right back. No, I'm hoping he's just sorting something very simple out, and there he is. So that's Lando Norris, for anyone wondering, in that beautiful white and blue suit. He didn't turn up in a default suit, that's for sure. He's very much sticking out from the crowd, and we are moments away from the start of the inaugural WTF1 Grand Prix, and I cannot wait.
So as we say, 1 hour endurance race. Teams of 2 and 3 drivers will be making pit stops accordingly. And so your carts that will be sharing the load, especially the teams just here for a bit of fun. Well, everybody's here for a bit of fun. But the ones towards the middle of the park will probably be doing 20-minute stints. But 20-minute stints around Buckmore Park, that's not easy.
No. I was in for 5 minutes and I was already like, I need to have a lie down. So 20 minutes should be a dawdle for some of these guys that kart a lot, but more interesting towards the back.
So we're waiting then Eyes on the lights, they're red, they're green, and we're racing in the first ever WTF1 Grand Prix here at Buckmore Park. Very even start from the front row. Jack Goldsmith will lead into turn 1. Can Piers Pryor do anything about his lead around the outside? No. So Goldsmith leads, and here we go into hairpin 1. Are they all going to survive? There's a lot of loading. No, they're not all going to survive. Number 23 has had a spin there. So he's already to the back of the field through hairpin 2, and away they go. That was a very good start there, Matt, for Jack Goldsmith.
It was nice and clean going into turn 1 as well. I was obviously a little bit biased on trying to see where cart number 17 is, and it looks like Lando Norris is still in 5th place by the looks of things. But these guys, yeah, nice and clean apart from that one little spin.
Yeah. Although we have had a contact warning already. Oh, and up the inside of Piers Pryor was the driver for 3rd place there. Couldn't quite make out who that was. Yellow flag, yellow lights I can see down out at the bottom of the circuit. So something's happened on lap 1. But Goldsmith in the 27 already with a good lead. There's Lando Norris fighting in the number 17 with number 7. That's the custom racewear team. Black flag already for number 14, Exquisite. So that will be them coming into the pits to have a little bit of a chat, I think, with the stewards.
Re-education, I think they call it,
I
don't
like
they?
that.
Which is a lovely, lovely term. Lando's having an absolute ding-dong with these guys. Looks like he's lost out to number... Oh, no, 7's dropped back a little bit, I think.
Yeah, he's just nipped past Ed Bars there in the number 11 for Euro Bandits. So the McLaren test driver is starting to come through. I think that's going to make him already up into 5th place. Yes, it is.
Do you think you'd ever have heard a Lando Norris train in your life? Because
no.
That's what's currently forming at the moment.
Oh, spin there, and a spin in sympathy as well.
Oh,
and these two drivers are going to think, what on earth's going on through down here? That is possibly... Now, I can speak from experience there. That is one of the worst corners in the country to have that happen to you. That's how I got this scar.
Oh, my goodness me. Oh, that's close into the hairpin as well. Lando losing a couple of positions there as well.
Yeah, custom racewear in the number 7 there. Lando Norris going back for the inside. Let's have a look at this on the replay. This is coming down Sime Sweep really fast. Right-hander, then left-hander. Driver here is just going to get... Oh, he's wide. He's wide on entry, and he's going to spin it round, and then his mate behind him is going to go, oh, I'm liking the look of that. I'm going to join you in on some of that synchronised spinning there.
I'm going to say that was beautifully executed, and hopefully we won't see too much more of that as we see. Oh no, there's a lot of sliding going down this downhill section, which, as you say, is probably the worst point to be stopped as they come flying through that right-hander.
But it is, for me, one of the best corners.
Yeah.
Not just on this circuit, on any kart circuit in the country.
You're holding on for dear life, aren't you?
You are indeed. Anyway, back with our leaders. Here's the battle for 3rd place between JDR and the number 15 of Ultima. Piers Pryor there in the number 6 for P&O Ferries. And now we kind of get into this stage of the race, Matt, where things just start to calm down at the front of the field a little bit. Drivers have now kind of got the measure of each other. They know how fast each kart is, and they get into the nitty-gritty of this endurance race now.
Absolutely, it's settling into the rhythm as they go side by side. That's an interesting one. Beautifully executed there. I'm not sure who that was, but yeah, as you say, it's getting into the swing of things. It's understanding where am I losing time to the guy ahead that may be pulling away a tenth or two. As oh, okay, no, I just saw a strange camera angle then, but yeah, as you can see, coming over the line now to start, and 1.8 seconds out in the lead, so it's looking pretty comfortable at the moment. But that can all change in the pit stops.
All change in the pit stop. Also change when we get to the point of the race where traffic starts being involved. Yeah. Good old back markers. We'll see what happens there. I reckon we're probably... I know, we're not a couple of laps off it. The traffic has started now, so that's number 14 who's gone lap down. That's the Exquisite team that we know have already been black flagged.
And also the fact that, you know, there's no blue flags here.
Nope.
So they have to make every single move count. So the back markers will probably be the reason why someone wins and someone loses. So it'll be interesting to see right at the end of the race if there's still a battle for the lead, and then monitoring those back markers.
You're absolutely right, Matt. That is one of the things with Arrive and Drive karting. If this is your first time watching Arrive and Drive karting, I don't think there's many series that use blue flags, especially in endurance Arrive and Drive karting like this. So yeah, the drivers have to not just have the pace to be at the front, but also the racecraft to get past those drivers. And again, especially in a race like this where you've got less experience of those guys towards the back of the field. I'm not going to say that they're doing the wrong thing, but they can be a little bit unpredictable.
yes, unpredictable and just slow at places that you maybe wouldn't expect, perhaps even down here. It is a very daunting couple of corners, and you kind of want to keep the foot in, but then you're like, actually, no, am I going too fast? And especially for people that haven't karted at all, there's a few people that have never karted before in their lives. There's a few that have never been to Buckmore, as you probably can see by maybe number 28 there. And you know, that's the thing that you have to take into account when lapping.
So let's go through a lap of this Buckmore Park circuit. Here you see the number 15 going through turns 1 and Henry's Bend there, turn 2 into hairpin 1, the first of the good opportunities to overtake. But this next one, very wide entry into hairpin 2. No move on there for the number 15. And here we get to a really crucial point, because a good exit out of here, through the sweeping turn left and right, and then down Symes sweep, and you're full throttle all the way down this hill until you get to Paddock Corner at the bottom of the circuit, which you just can't quite see. It's off to the right of screen. They go hard right, then uphill slightly into Garda.
Full throttle, downhill section, all the way.
Yeah.
Really?
Until you get to the breaking point. Maybe not in one of these Sodis, but in other arriving drivers that have been around.
Really? I was like, I was taking notes. I was like, okay, right, so I'm going to do this later. Okay.
You almost have to nearly not take it too much, because there's a big curb on the inside of Symes Sweep that can kind of bounce you off. But you just hook your front right wheel in that curb, and it kind of just pulls you round nicely for the second half of Symes Sweep. Castamard LOL have had a track limit warning. Now we should explain there's been a lot of these tarmac runoffs put in place, especially as you can see down here at Symes Sweep. I'm fully for them, as I say, as a driver who's had incidents in that corner, having that time. Oh, and around goes the number 6. I think it was the number 6.
Number 6, that's second place if it is.
No, it's not number 6 then. That's not the pink helmet of Piers Prix there. But no, the tarmac runoffs are there for the safety of the drivers, very similar to how you see on newer Formula 1 circuits, of course. But there is still that big solid white line, and if you go beyond it, especially on, say, the exit of hairpin 2, you can be penalised. Now, I think the drivers are getting 3 warnings. That's generally how it works.
Correct,
3 strikes and you're out. So that's already 1 track limit warning for exceeding track limits for Castamard LOL.
Not completely out though. We don't kick them out for 3 corner cuts. Just get out, leave. Sorry, no, you've had 3 corner cuts. You clearly can't drive. Oh, that's close as well. What's that?
Yeah, that was Ed Bars in the Euro Bandits kart making his way past one of the back markers. And this is exactly what we were talking about in terms of it's very, very tricky now for the faster drivers to keep that pace up, because they've got to negotiate their way past all these back markers.
Oh, that was a big sausage curb take then. Oh my goodness me, that's going to hurt as well, isn't it, riding over that sausage curb?
Absolutely. So here's your battle then for 5th place. The 21 is a lap down. There's Lando Norris in 6th place, son. Up the inside of the back marker.
Nice.
Textbook. Absolutely textbook there by Norris into hairpin 1. I don't think the 21 realises who he's actually racing against at that point. He is a lap down. I'm not going to criticise.
Right,
if I was out there and Lando Norris came flying past me and on a live streamed broadcast, I'd be thinking, yeah, I'm going to have a piece of you, son. I'm going to fight back here.
And by that, he's already 4 car lengths behind. But yeah, Lando, as you can see, looking at him right now, settling into his rhythm. He's kind of pulled away from 7th place. He was originally battling at the start of the race, kind of close in on 11, about 8 tenths behind. So it'll be interesting. I am really interested to see if Lando, starts to pick up different track characteristics and how, as you say, like hooking the wheel into a certain curve and that sort of stuff. It'll be interesting to see at the end of the race, or end of his stint, whether Lando can get up there with the competitive lap times of first and second.
It's about keeping it smooth, though. I mean, these 390cc Sodi RT8 karts, top speed of 60 miles an hour. Especially if you start hitting those curbs too hard, you can A, damage the car, but at B, you lose a lot of momentum as well. And you can see with these drivers at the front end of the field, they're keeping things nice and smooth as a track limit warning for WTF1 team number 2.
Hey, that's our second team. I take absolutely no.
Who we got in the second car, Matt?
So we've got actually one of my friends, Jody Mills. I don't know who's actually in the kart right now.
Hopefully Jody, if this is all in order.
We'll go with Jody Mills. Yeah, he's one of my friends actually, and I've known him for many, many years. He's karted. He's in the British UK Karting Championship, the UKC. So I would imagine he wouldn't be doing these track limit warnings and being down in 23rd, but you never know. Now, he may have had an incident at the start of the race that we didn't see. But yeah, they're down in 23rd at the moment, but I'm up in 6th because I'm in the first team. So
that's all you need to know right now.
Yeah.
We're already 10 minutes in then to the first ever WTF1 Grand Prix live here at Buckmore Park. Andrew Mather from Double Dash Motorsport Media and Matthew Gallagher from WTF1 in the commentary box for you in the early stages of this race. Brought to you by Alpha Live as well. Do follow them on Facebook. Plenty of action from them over the summer. All different championships that they are covering through the year. Lots of great stuff. Here's the battle between the 15 and the 24. This is actually for third place. This is JDR coming under pressure from Ultimate. 5 seconds off the lead. Maybe the driver in the Ultimate kart, number 15, I think it's Aaron Hughes at the moment, I was just thinking that he's a little bit quicker than the 24 and wants to get through because you can see the number 6 there, the P&O Ferries team, just starting to get away a little bit.
Any live timings of how Lando, etc. is doing?
I will try and fix that for you. It's my old laptop's going a bit wrong.
Not biased at all, but I want to know if he's starting to improve and ramp up. But right now, first position, 4 seconds clear, and that's pretty impressive when you consider how close qualifying was. That's going to be close into turn 1. 33 getting a little tiny nudge as we come through the double right-hander. Find that one quite interesting as well after a 20-minute stint. You're kind of hanging on into the cart, trying to not get unseated. And oh, that's a Marshall kart, I believe, just catching into shot there. But if you're just joining us, this is the WTF1 inaugural Grand Prix. I'm Matt Gallagher, the presenter of WTF1, and I cannot believe that we have our first ever event here at Buckmore Park. We have 105 drivers plus spectators. They got to see a lovely pre-race show about half an hour ago, and we've put on a pretty good show at the moment, Andrew, would you say?
Absolutely. I loved the parade we had earlier.
I was jumping up and down.
That was awesome.
Formula 1 car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got a couple of videos of that, so do check those out on the various Facebook pages. Good news, everyone. We have live timing. Thank you very much, Mr. James Fitzhugh, for sorting that out. So currently, Lando's fastest lap is a 49.982.
Okay.
Which is quicker than he went in qualifying.
Good. He's improving. Nice. Is he closing in on 5th?
At the moment, well, if he can do the ultimate pace, yes, he will just start to creep back towards the Euro Bandits there in 5th place.
But again, it's all down to back markers, isn't it?
It is indeed.
If we look at the top 5, I mean, they're all in the 50s at the moment, and technically, I mean, Lando's matched the last lap of the leader, so I'll take it, even though the leader's just gone purple in the middle sector.
Yeah, has indeed. So Limitless Racing, currently the holders of the fastest lap of the race, 49.257, which once again, that is 0.06 of a second off the lap record in these karts. But they have just received a contact warning there. I imagine that is for contact with one of the back markers. There is your battle for 5th place. Ed Bars versus Lando Norris.
Visibly closer.
And into the pits. So we've got our first pitter. It's the Custom Racewear team. So they're in for a driver change. Away goes driver number 2. And that looks a pretty clean stop there, Matt.
Yeah, probably quicker than I'll get out the cart, but that's fine, because I don't actually have to get out the cart, I only have to get in it at the end of the race.
Good tactics.
Yeah. Just press the accelerator and go. But yeah, it's really impressive, as you say. You know, we're so close to the lap record, which is great to see. Limitless Racing, I believe that's actually one of their drivers, not in at the moment, is James Doherty, who is the Renault esports driver that's been signed through the F1 esports series. He'll be going a little bit later, so it'll be interesting to see. I watched him kart maybe a few months ago for the F1 esports when they were having all their various challenges, and it'll be interesting to see whereabouts he rates to his teammates, because he'll be in the same kart, and it's a fair comparison.
How do you think the whole esports thing's going to change the world of developing drivers into Formula 1 and Formula 2 and levels like that? Do you think it can take over from karting, or is it still going to be a bit of a mix between the two?
I think it will be still be a mix, you know, for people that can afford it, people that can do it. It will still be very much a viable strategy for finding new drivers. But I think F1 esports and, for example, McLaren's world's fastest gamer, Rudy Van Buren, who won that, showed in real life at the Race of Champions. He was quicker than Tom Christensen. I think he beat Lando Norris in a race as well.
Yep.
And to think that he's never probably been in that specific car, it's just showing that, you know, gaming skills and attributes that you get from just sitting at home on a wheel does translate. Yeah.
We're still watching this battle for 5th place then. Let's have a quick run down the top 10 then, as we are now Just up to a quarter of the way through this race. My goodness, it's going very, very quickly. Limitless Racing then lead by 6.4 seconds ahead of P&O Ferries in second place. Ultima have got through. They have passed JDR for third place. So that's a good move for them, and they're going to try and close in now on the P&O Ferries team in second place. Euro Bandits are fifth ahead of WTF1's first team in sixth place. IGP Managers team, oh, there's a massive spin there down into the tyre barrier for number 10. That was quite a dramatic slide down there through Simon's sweep, and that was Team 10 in Kart 10. As Kelvin's going to join me on the commentary. Kelvin, oh, careful. I'll just do that whilst Kelvin's sorting his headset out, no worries. Kelvin van der Linde, welcome to the Crow's Nest. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's great to be here. Great to be in Buckmore Park. And yeah, cool to be here with some sunny weather in England for a change.
Yes, we're all a bit perplexed as to what's happened this summer. We're not used to this this big golden orb in the sky that's been with us for the last 2 months.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always cool. I don't know if they had wet weather tyres for us anyway, but luckily for the racing today, I think it played out the right way for us.
So obviously you've gone on to have a really fantastic racing career, racing for Audi at the moment. Let's walk back. Karting days, what were they like for you as a kid?
Yeah, well, they were very important because back in the days when I started karting, simulators were not really good enough like they are today. So karting was really the grassroots of motorsport, and of course a very critical part of every driver's development. So I definitely look back on my karting days with fond memories and definitely learnt a lot from it.
Absolutely. And do you still get in the karts often, or is today a bit of a one-off?
I tend to, when I'm not in a race car, I tend to be lying on the couch more often. So I don't really fancy going karting unless it's for WTF1's event. But yeah, of course, it's always a laugh. You go out with some friends, and I prefer to do it for a laugh nowadays.
Obviously, your teammate in this race, Lando Norris, starting to close in on number 11 now, Ed Bars, as getting through the traffic. You've done a lot of endurance racing, obviously, the being a win of the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. As Ed Bars is off, and I think that might mean he's lost a position to Lando Norris. Sorry, I took my eyes off the screen for 1 second there. I don't know if we can get a replay of that, Luke. But traffic management, how important is it in a race like this? You've done a lot of endurance. Watch the issue for number 11. Oh my goodness me, it was the 8 and the number 1 coming together. And Ed Bars and number 11 was just an innocent party, wrong place, wrong time. But that does mean that your kart, Kelvin's up to 4th place.
Yeah, well, that's a lucky win for us, and that's actually just indicated, the art of. Okay, this is not an endurance race, but it is the art of endurance racing, is being able to interpret the traffic. And luckily this time it worked out well for Lando. He managed to get up into P4, so nice one.
Good stuff indeed. We have started seeing some pit stops as well. Limitless Racing, your race leaders of a few moments ago, were in the pits. They have done a driver change. Kelvin's, I think, getting ready to go and jump in the kart. Indeed, that was a good little chat. Kelvin's in good form, isn't he?
He is indeed. I'm back. I thought we'd get a couple of minutes from Kelvin, see what he thought, see what he thinks of karting, and first lying on the couch.
I think what we say that he is a prime athlete, and recovery time is very, very important.
Yes, yeah. The more recovery time, the better,
yes.
Especially for us normal human beings as well. We need
I need a lot of recovery. So, back with the race then. The number 6 of P&O Ferries is now your race leader. Piers Pryor still pounding round there, but he has been closed in now by the number 15 Ultima kart. There's some back markers getting involved, and a move for the lead there. Up the inside goes Ultima on P&O Ferries, and that is indeed a change for the lead. Now, can they make their way through this traffic? Because that's going to give Piers Pryor and the number 6 machine a chance to get back up the inside if the traffic doesn't behave itself. But no, I think that is going to be Ultima through and in a clear lead now. Don't know if we can. Oh, it's contact there, and was that the leader taken out? I'll have to check. It was the number 13. Oh, apologies. It wasn't the number 15, but I thought that was a moment there for the leader. Let's watch this again. 3 wide down into Simon's sweep, and simply that doesn't work. But it was the leaders. It was the 15 and the 6 getting together side by side, and poor back marker number 13. Unlucky for some, that's HSS Racing, off and in the wall.
Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable scenes. So Kelvin is about to go out. There he is. He's got his helmet on. He's ready to go. About to wave in Lando. He's at 20 minutes in.
And quite a few driver changes being done now. Number 11, Ed Bars, is in for Euro Bandits. He will hand the kart over to either Connor Taylor or Will Fuchs. And out they go. The number 1's in as well, 35. So a lot of our teams from the top 10 in now. And as we know, with the inside knowledge, number 17 is about to make a pit stop as well. But it's been a very good stint by Lando Norris in the number 17. Great qualifying right at the end, getting the kart up into the top 5, and it's still there as we're 20 minutes into the race.
Yep, Lando's looks like he's improved. He's got his consistency for sure, sitting in a comfortable 4th place for now. And I have a good feeling about Kelvin. I think Kelvin will go in and set some good lap times and hopefully start to close in on the podium places, but it will require a pretty monumental effort as Lando continues for another lap, but I believe that is because Kelvin is yet to wave him in. Hopefully Lando does see it and doesn't do the whole hour race, because I think both me and Kelvin would like a go. But I think his competitive side will be coming out. He's not winning, and he'll want to be winning.
He will want to be winning. Keep your comments coming in on the YouTube stream. Hello to Mario Master 02, who I think is commenting about that bit of contact between number 6 and 15. All the time you have to leave the space. It's true. You do have to leave the space, and the space wasn't left there. So we'll see what happens with that.
Any chain bearers? Stuart. Where's Stuart? No. Chain bear is here for this event.
Number 17 is in. WTF1's first team is in. So Lando Norris will hand over to Kelvin van der Linde. In fact, quite a few of our leaders are in as well. 24 is, that's JDR. So JDR nearly lost a position there in that pit stop to WTF1. Number 19 completes a good pit stop as well. So lots and lots of teams doing the 20-minute changeover now. And we will start to see then who has done the best job in the pit stops. Oh, was the number 10. that was an interesting moment for the number 10. I don't think I've ever seen a kart out near that particular wall. But no, we'll start to see now who's done the good job through the pit stops. But at the moment, it's still P&O Ferries, Ultima and IGP Manager. Your top 3 are yet to pit. So we'll wait for them to do that.
And they have to pit at least twice. 2 mandatory pit stops in this race. So
yep.
Because there's 3 drivers in each team, it'd be a bit unfair if someone had bought a whole team and decided to do the whole race without any pit stops. So 2 mandatory pit stops for every team. So Liberty's Racing still very much out in front. How far are they ahead at the moment? 2.5 seconds?
Yeah, they are 0.3 of a second ahead of IGP, but they're, look at that, nearly 12 seconds clear of the next kart that's made a pit stop already, which is JDR in 5th.
So they picked quite early, didn't they?
They did indeed.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's your race leader, Piers Pryor, as Ultima are in for their first pit stop out of 2. So the number 6 P&O Ferries kart has a clear lead now, working their way through some of the traffic.
I think I'm going to go and hunt
Oh
down.
dear. Oh dear,
No,
oh
it's
dear.
fine. It's the second team. It's fine. We need some re-education, but it's not for me. It'll be interesting to see what that re-education was. I'll have to go and find that out. I'm going to go and try and find Lando Norris for a quick chat, so I'll see you very shortly.
Cheers, Matt. We'll see him back shortly, and hopefully find out as well what the cause of that black flag was for the second of the WTF1 teams. You're watching live coverage of the first ever WTF1 Karting Grand Prix. There's another black flag, or at least a repeat flag for WTF1 2. Live coverage then of this 1-hour endurance race here at Buckmore Park in Chatham, Kent. Andrew Mather from Double Dash Motorsport Media with you for the whole race on this Alpha live stream. Do follow at Alpha Live on Facebook. That's a like, actually, no, with it being Facebook. Like Alpha Live on Facebook and like Double Dash Motorsport Media as well. Here is your battle then for 4th place. This is JDR and WTF1 1. I'm going to start calling them A and B. So I'm going to take matters into my own hands here. But Kelvin van der Linde racing now very, very hard against the number 24. It's Jamie Tyler at the wheel of the JDR kart at the moment. Very accomplished MSA racer. Here's your leader, still yet to pit, the number 6. So it looks like the P&O Ferries team are running a bit of an alternative strategy. They've still got to make 2 pit stops, remember. They still have to do that. But so far, so good. Do keep your comments coming in on both the Facebook and the YouTube stream. Great to have you, so many of you watching along. I do hope you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon. 35 minutes of this race to go then. We're getting to the crunch point now. Most teams have made their first pit stop. In fact, I think it only is, yes, of the top 26, only P&O Ferries, this kart here, number 6, has yet to make its pit stop. So 17.6 seconds is now the lead for the number 6. Here's the number 1. This is the race active team. And they are currently a little bit further down the order. In fact, they're a long way down the order. They're in that position that nobody likes to be, 35th out of 35. But they're looking pretty quick at the moment, so a 50.691, the fastest lap for Race Active number 1 at the moment. They are a full lap, though, behind Exquisite, so I imagine Race Active 1 have had some kind of issue there that's put them in that position. See, I think that was Tom Fox flying through there, a driver I recognise from the PUKC. And I do think we are now going to head across back to Matt, who's got Lando Norris with him. Apologies, folks. We've got some technical issues across at the interview stand, so we'll just do a little bit of filler. You're not missing anything, and I think now we are good. We are good for Matt to have a chat with Lando Norris, who's just got out of the number 17 kart.
Lando, P5, P4, P6, whatever. Yeah, we were P4 at one point. P1? No, I don't think we can lie so much. Lando, how was that stint for you? You just said that you were a bit slow at the start, but how did it go for you?
It was tough. I knew my lap I did in quali was like I probably would never have done it again. So I knew it was going to be a tough race. I think I was a bit out of my depth in P5, but it was a good stint. I think I managed to stay in 5th or 4th. So it was tough, and it's freaking bouncy, so I hurt my ribs a bit. But
yeah, you were saying you got a bit battered and bruised around here. And it's is it quite a unique kart track compared to some of the other ones you've raced at, purely because of the undulation and whatnot?
Pretty unique. I mean, there is a couple of others which are something similar. But yeah, it's not often I drive a rental car, so it's always a bit different. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been in a proper kart since 2014, so it's been a long time. It's just experiencing it again, and the bumps and everything. It's more physical than you think, so good luck.
So F1 car, rental car. Where does it rate in terms of battered and bruised?
I think this was worse. Really? Yeah. I feel like when I get out of a car, probably after a race, I feel more chilled than I do right now.
Yeah. But then again, we've had 35 drivers out there. At one time, 35 drivers. How did you find sort of managing that? Because I saw a few moments where you were kind of turning around and didn't really know where everyone was. Was it quite a sort of stressful experience? Because you don't want to hurt yourself, do you, being Formula 1 reserve driver?
No, that's the last thing I want to do. But it was tough because there are a lot of not so fast guys out there, and they often just spin for some reason.
There was a big impact that we saw a bit earlier on, where one of them hit the sausage curb hard.
Oh, down the hill?
Yeah, no, there was... another. I don't know if you saw it, actually. Maybe you just got ahead, because you took 4th place at one point. To be fair, you didn't really know where you were, did you? You were like, where was I? So were you learning as you went along? Because I was speaking to Andrew, who was saying about, there's a lot of like unique bits where, you'll try and dip a wheel into the curb to try and rotate the car more. Yeah. Did you learn any kind of things as you went along?
Is this for you or for everyone?
Please help.
The two main ones, are, as you go down the hill into like the really bouncy right-hander, around there you have to get like all over the inside curb. Otherwise you just bounce and probably hit the barrier. And then the second one is into kind of the last corner, the overhill right-hander. you need to be really tight on the exit. Well, I wasn't doing it, but the guy ahead of me was, and he was quicker, so I think it was correct.
So you're telling me what you should have done now that you've got out of the car. Okay, brilliant. Right, well that has been Lando Norris, McLaren F1 reserve driver. Lando, thank you. Have you enjoyed today? Because we've had a nice little pre-show beforehand. An F1 car went round the kart circuit. Have you enjoyed the day? You're smiling, so I'd imagine so.
No.
Don't do this to me.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, to get back in a kart was good, so...
Take you back to your roots.
It does. Maybe I wasn't quite as fast then as what I used to be, but it does feel good. Yeah, it's fun.
Awesome. Let's throw you back to Andrew in the comms box.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Lando. My goodness me, it's all been kicking off in the last 2 minutes. Changes for position up at the front end of the field. Ultima are up to 4th, JDR 5th, as finally the P&O Ferries kart is in for its first of 2 mandatory pit stops. WTF1 number 1 team, or A team, depending on which way you want to be, are now down to 6th. Kelvin van der Linde has been bullied out of the way by some of the back markers. I saw him running wide out of paddock, avoiding action. But it definitely feels like someone's turned the pressure cooker up to about level 7 now, as it's got all a little bit frantic out there. There's been a few black flags in there as well for Team ILR2 and Team 23 as well. So a couple of the drivers maybe getting a little bit tired out there already. As we say, 20 minutes, 30 minutes in a go-kart. To those kind of uninitiated, as the number 7's having all kinds of trouble with the back markers. This is the custom racewear team. This isn't for position. In fact, no, it is for position. That's the number 12. Round goes the custom racewear team, and that's them been taken out by a back marker. That's Team 26, who are down in 23rd position. What a shame. Well, let's have a look at this again. It's the number 12, the WTF1B team that the number 7's fighting with. Up the inside, 26 just locks up the rear axle, creams into the side of number 7, and round they both go at hairpin 1. That's a real shame there for custom racewear, but at least they can get going again pretty quickly. Clutched karts these. There's some arrive and drive karts where direct drive nature would mean that you'd lose significant number of seconds in that kind of incident, and there has now been a black flag for the number 26 for that misdemeanor. So they will have to come into the pits and, as Matt's been putting it, have some re-education of their driving standards, which I think is a term I'm going to steal and use consistently now over over the next year or so as we do more of these events with Alpha Live. Here's the number 6. Here's your new leader then. So in fact, look at this. The first pit stop has produced a very interesting result. Piers Pryor, going longer, has pulled the P&O Ferries kart into the lead of the race after the pit stop. It's Ollie Wedden now at the wheel of the number 6. They are 2 seconds clear of Limitless Racing. So what a stint there from Piers Pryor. And knowing how good a driver Ollie Wedden is, I think you've got to make them favourites for this race now. Black flag, another black flag, this time for Team ILR2 and Team 26. There's the number 7 now recovering. They lost about 7 seconds there for me over WTF1's B team. 13 with the arm in the air probably means they're making a pit stop. Oh no, maybe not. Number 27 goes by. That's the second place now, Limitless Racing kart. We saw Jack Goldsmith in for the start of it, so this will be James Doherty in now. Very distinctive black, red and yellow helmet. Let's have a look at this. What's happening here with Doherty into hairpin 1. Oh, number 13 started to have a bit of a fight back there. A bit of an apologetic hand there, but that will have been a nervous moment for Limitless Racing. But the gap is coming down. 1.6 seconds now, the gap between P&O Ferries and Limitless Racing. We've got a race on here, ladies and gentlemen, at Buckmore Park. 26 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Contact warning for the number 13, which is HSS Racing. But very, very even pace now between the two leaders. They are 13 seconds clear of Euro Bandits in 3rd, JDR 4th, WTF1's A team in 5th. So Kelvin van der Linde continuing to do some really good work here, keeping with the regular drivers. As we say, this is the first time van der Linde's been to Buckmore Park. So he's doing a very, very good job against drivers who race here regularly. Look at this traffic, though. A lot of traffic now coming up for the leaders. And this could offer the opportunity to Limitless Racing's James Doherty to try and get past Ollie Wedden in the number 6.
We are back. Hello, everyone. And close for the lead.
Very close for the lead. So
Was that in the pit stops, or was it always that close?
no, this is from the pit stops. Number 6 going longer on their first stint has used track position well as up the inside of some of the back markers there goes Ollie Wedden. So number 6 has jumped to 27 in the pit stops, but the number 27, for me, right now, Matt, looks a little bit quicker.
Going to be interesting. I think I'm about to go in the car in about 2 minutes' time because Kelvin's got to go. So this will be interesting. I'm about to go in the car in about 2 minutes' time.
I've got a chance for a podium here.
Absolutely not. I'm hoping top 10.
Nah, come on. 6th place at the moment. Oh, it was a massive slide there. I think that was for the number 2, but they managed to save it coming out of paddock corner. We have now got a top 10 that is on the lead lap. So there's, I think, at least top 10. You've got a good 14, 15 second gap there between 10th and 11th, Matt.
Yeah,
you can hold on to that.
I'm just hoping I don't get stuck behind the back markers because I'm not quick enough.
Hairpin 2, hairpin 2. That's the lunge corner.
Yeah, so not this one.
This one coming up here. Really wide entrance, and then just lunge it up the inside. Jobs are good.
I will note that.
Yes.
I hope I can at least do that once.
And don't outbreak yourself like I always do.
Okay, brilliant. I hope not. Okay, right, I'm going to go into the car right now. Goodbye, everyone.
Best of luck, Matt. Have a good one. So Matt Gallagher will be getting into the number 17 car, which is now up to 5th place. So Kelvin van der Linde has got through, and here's your battle for the lead. Number 6 versus 27. They're up behind the number 1, which is has got some good pace, but they are a couple of laps down. Can Ollie Wedden hold off James Doherty into turn 1? He's going to go to the inside of the back marker. Wedden's got to be brave on the brakes, and yes, he's got through. But can Doherty get underneath into hairpin 1? He goes for the move up the inside. Bit of contact between the two leaders, but through goes the number 27. Number 1's getting involved again. And number 6 will be up the inside, but that's a great move by James Doherty into the lead then for the Limitless Racing team in the number 27, past the number 6 of P&O Ferries. Let's have a look at that again. Classic manoeuvre into hairpin 1, jerks to the inside, late on the brakes. Number 6 tries to turn in, but that's not going to work today. And Doherty is through. 23 minutes of the first ever WTF1 Karting Grand Prix then here at Buckmore Park Kart Circuit in Kent, Chatham. Racing this fleet of Sodi RT8 karts, which you can drive yourself if you go to the website for Buckmore Park, get all the details on there, and you and your mates can be down here having a go yourself. It's www.buckmore.co.uk. Through Syme Sweep, and already you can start to see now Limitless Racing are pulling away from P&O Ferries. This is a crucial stage of the race for the P&O Ferries team. They've got to get back on that pace that they had earlier. Do keep your comments coming in, any questions. I've got a question from Pedro Carvalho. Where are the blue flags? No blue flags here. Arrive and drive karting, all equal machinery. It's about driver skill. It's not just about being fast, it's about getting past the karts cleanly. Certain drivers probably wouldn't like it. Certain drivers of a German variety would be calling for the blue flags, but not here. There's a signal from Kelvin van der Linde. I think that's the international "I'm coming in next time round, boys." He's giving us a thumbs up. He knows we're watching him. He knows. He's currently battling with he's battling in a position here. Number 15 there, the Ultima kart. The guys behind me are highly amused by this. Kelvin van der Linde clearly taking this race very, very seriously. Oh, and he's hit the curb there. There's a nod of the head. He knows he's messed up there. And he's going to have to come in this lap, hand over to Matthew Gallagher. But that was a good, enjoyable battle there between WTF1's A-Team and the Ultima kart. Into the pits comes van der Linde. Hard on the brakes there. You'll see Matty jump in. Kelvin jumps out. Oh, the cart's rolling away. Grab it, Matt. It will try and drive without you. And away he goes. So can Matthew Gallagher hold on to this top 10? I think he can. I think he's got the speed to do so. He's just got to hit it hard. And he's come out in 9th position. There he is. Hopefully he's going to use all the things that he's been taught over the last hour. He's got the number 18 ahead of him. That's one of the back markers. That's WTF1's B team. So we've got a WTF1 derby here. Don't take each other out, boys, for goodness sake. So P21 for the B team. Oh, is this chaos down at the paddock corner? And I think the WTF1 boys are involved. Matty has a... He's got his chaos. It's like F1 YouTuber Championship all over again. This is why we have to keep him behind the camera, boys. Keep him off the race circuit, for goodness sake. So he's already had one lap, which has had far more chaos than both Norris and van der Linde. This is great stuff. 19 minutes more of this, ladies and gentlemen. He's trying to make his way through some of this traffic. Actually, the battle with the number 22, that is for position. That's the IGP manager team who have made their second pit stop. So this is a full-on battle for 8th place between number 22 and 17. You see number 22 there. Oh, big moment there down through Simon Sweep. That is not the point of the circuit where you really want to be overtaken. JDR in the pits, number 22 are wide. This is a chance for Gallagher up the inside of the number 10. They're a lap down. Got to say, this is hard. Having come out of the pits in a really good position, straight into a squabbling pack of karts, I cannot overstate enough how hard that is. There's number 35. They've just re-emerged from a pit stop. That's Team 35 in 16th place. Past the number 5. That's another kart that's a lap down. Oh, someone's round in hairpin 1. I didn't quite catch who it was. I think it's a blue suit and a white helmet. There is Gallagher in the number 17. Still in 9th place. 1 second behind IGP manager's team, the number 22. Down through Simon Sweep. Round the outside of one of the back markers. Very impressive. Oh, someone's taken a trip across the... I think it's the number 28 that's just taken a trip across the runoff there. The leaders are also not that far behind as well. The number 27 and the number 6. There is the 27. So WTF1 go a lap down. 17 minutes to go. There is the car that they are chasing. The 7th placed IGP manager team. Number 22. Although, oh, that is for position. And they have lost a position there to Custom Racewear. So Custom Racewear, who've completed their second pit stop, back out again in 7th place. In 8th place, in the number 7 kart rather. 17 minutes to go. Let's just have a look through the pit stop situation. Limitless Racing and P&O Ferries both yet to make their second stops. Euro Bandits are the first kart on the road that have made their second stop. So they're looking good for a podium here as the number 29 re-emerges from the pit lane. Here's the 2 and the 15. The 15, the Ultima team in 5th place. This is not for position. The number 2 is down in 14th place. Contact warning for the number 15. Need to be careful here. This is what it's about, getting past the slower drivers carefully. They're managing their own race. Currently the Ultima team, and there's a contact warning, as I say again, for them. 1 second behind the JDR kart, the number 24, but I think that's going to have extended out over this past half a lap or so. Number 15 really having some trouble here, getting past the number 2. The number 2, as we say, is the Race Active 2 team down in 14th place. Not quite sure who the driver is at on board the kart. Might be Sam Lukes. Hopefully someone will confirm that for me in the comments. Here's the big opportunity to overtake then down into hairpin 2, but now number 15's not close enough. Not close enough that time around for Michael Hafford. 15 minutes to go then in the first ever WTF1 Grand Prix. Live here from Buckmore Park. Andrew Mather from Double Dash Motorsport Media in the comms box for you, with Alpha Live bringing you your coverage and the stream. Here's your battle then for 6th place. This is the IPG Managers team and the number 12, which is Will's the Fastest Ones team. I don't think we've talked about them much so far. This is the team with Ian Williams, I think it is, currently at the wheel of that kart. So Ian, a very experienced driver. Yellow flags out down at paddock corner, I can see, but it's been cleared now. Through the fast section of the course now, down into Syme Sweep, going past the novice there in the number 29. Just making their way around the course nice and easily. Let's talk about the leaders though. Limitless Racing are pulling away from P&O Ferries. They are now 4.3 seconds clear of P&O Ferries. But both of those karts, as we mentioned, yet to make their final pit stops of the race. 22 trying to make their way through some of the traffic. RGP manager again, still in 6th place. Team being led by Jack Baseford. Contact warning for Team 34 in karts 34. And we've got a couple of pit stops as well. TJS Racing in from 11th place. Subby 3 star, in 17th place. They're both in for pit stops. That promotes WTF1 one's A team back into 9th place. So Matthew Gallagher, let's have a look at Matt's times. He's currently, he's just done a 51.798, and that's not bad. That's quicker than he went in qualifying. So he's making progress, and he's not that far off the lap times of the drivers around him as well. So if he can keep that pace up, WTF1's first team, or A team, the team with the better drivers, will take a top 10. Good work being done through the traffic then by, in fact no, not through the traffic, because Limitless Racing have made a pit stop. So Limitless Racing are in for their second pit stop. They've re-emerged 8 seconds behind P&O Ferries, and I don't think that's going to be enough for P&O Ferries to get in, change driver and back out again when it comes to their second pit stop. Here's the 24, Jack Dex Racing, commonly known as JDR. Black flag for the number 2, race active number 2. We saw they were having a few squabbles earlier on, about 5 minutes ago, but they have been black flagged for some form of infringement and will need to come into the pits from 15th place. Hand in the air from a JDR driver, not too happy with some of the back markers there. JDR are currently 8.7 seconds behind the Euro Bandits in 3rd. So they've got a bit of a tall order here to close that in the last 12 minutes of this race. Number 3 re-emerge from the pits, that's the Subby 1 team, and number 2 re-emerge from their black flag, or serving their black flag there, back out on circuit. So a few more teams just making their final pit stops now. Number 14's in towards the bottom end of the field. That's the Exquisite team. We've actually made 4 pit stops now. What's going on there? Where's the 18 come from there? I've never seen a kart coming from that direction. There's your net leader at the moment, number 27, Jack Goldsmith, back at the wheel as he was at the start. So they've got a pit stop in hand over P&O Ferries. Back with Matthew Gallagher then, here in the number 17. What's his pace like? 52.5, so he's trying to get past some of this traffic at the moment. 35 ahead of him, that's team 35, 2 laps down. Matt going for the move, can he go around the outside? Do the switchback, Matt. Can he do it? No, not quite. It is a very, very tricky corner, hairpin 2. Arguably easy to overtake, but until you've done it a couple of times, it always feels like you're lunging from so far back and it's going to result in an accident. I think Matty just needs to be a bit brave. He's got the leader, or second place, up the inside of him. Now, can he use Jack Goldsmith's pace to try and get through? The number 19's in there as well. That is for position as well. The number 19 of Nice Guys finished last in 10th place, trying to get past WTF1's Matthew Gallagher. Into turn 1. And I think number 19 is going to have the run at the inside. Good move there into turn 1 from number 19. I think it's Liam Carter currently driving that kart. So WTF1 down to, that will be 10th place. Still top 10 though, that's what the aim was at the start of this race with 10 minutes to go. Down through Simon Sweet, looking through like good pace. Oh, big massive spin there and a load of tyre smoke for the number 23. That's the Team 23 team currently down in 23rd position. That's a nice matchup. Kart 23, Team 23 in 23rd. Well, they were in 23rd, but there won't be any more. So, yeah, wide entry. Yeah, that's not what you want to do. You need to get that curb on driver's right. And around they go. Well avoided by the 18 and the number 4 there. Black flag for Team 30. Now, that's a big one because Team 30 up in 12th place. So that's going to cost them a few positions. I'm just looking at the gap between WTF1's Matthew Gallagher and the next kart behind. It's 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds. So at the moment, TJS Racing are closing it. Oh, someone's gone half round there, right in front of the number 12 of Will's the fastest one. Let's have a look at this again. This is coming off paddock corner. Oh, the 33 gets a little bit squirrely. I think it was the number 9 that went. And what a piece of driving to avoid that from the number 12. Clouds have come over a bit. I think it's cooled off slightly, which will be good for some of the drivers with less experience. Oh, Matthew nearly gets put in the wall by a novice. That will have been a hair raiser. Number 14's up the inside there, but Gallagher holds it round the outside. And I'm just going to check where they are. They have fallen out the top 10, and round goes the number 14. Round goes the number 14. Contact there with Gallagher. Well, we'll have to review that one again as to what happened there. But that was the number 14. They were way down the order anyway. Now let's have a look at this again. Into hairpin 1. I think the number 14 is going to go full Daniel Ricciardo, and it's just not. No, that's not going to work, boys. That's that's not going to work. The look round on the back's brilliant. Gallagher just thinks, what on earth was that? That was a very optimistic lunge there at hairpin 1. There's a number 19 going through your shot. Nice guys finish last. That's a terrible team name because you're not last. Maybe they're not nice guys. Continuing to fight here with the 35 who are in 13th place. 2 laps off the lead. So a lap separating these two karts. And the number 19 is indeed through. .35 has a spin. It's definitely getting to that stage of the race where a lot of the drivers the drivers are getting a little bit tired and trying to push hard at the same time to catch karts further up the road. Here is actually your battle for the lead then. P&O Ferries and Limitless Racing, first and second on the road. The important piece of information though is P&O Ferries are yet to make their second pit stop. They've tried something a little bit different, and for the most part it has worked, but they've not been able to hold back Limitless Racing. Jack Goldsmith up the inside into Simon Sweet. That's a very brave manoeuvre. There's contact between Goldsmith and Wedden down the hill through Simon Sweep. Both drivers did very well to not take each other out. They go past the novice and the number 29. Wedden defending like mad because he knows how crucial this is. It might be irrespective because, as I say, the number 6 needs to make a pit stop. Number 27 pushing them. A bit of shake and bake round Cafe Corner into turn 1. Then Goldsmith will try to go back to the inside as they go through Henry's Bend. He's going to have the run down the inside. Big lump of curb there. Wedden goes back to the inside. Defends really well through hairpin 1. Hairpin 2's next. This side by side again. This is fantastic racing here at Buckmore Park. Goldsmith goes back to the inside. Little bit of curb there. Still side by side here. And through the chicane. Still side by side. This is ridiculous. Down through Simon Sweep once again. A lot less contact than last time. There's a back marker in front of them who will get involved at some stage. And, well, what a piece of defensive driving that was from Ollie Wedden. He's held off Jack Goldsmith, who is a very, very fast driver, let me tell you, for a full lap and a half. So many attacks from the number 27. That was fantastic racing. And it's still going on. Wedden goes to the inside again. 5 minutes and 42 seconds of this race to go. Goldsmith's trying to go round the outside through Henry's Bend. Wedden goes defensive again. Goldsmith goes for the cutback. Can he get alongside into hairpin 2? Oh, Wedden's run a little bit deep there. This might be the chance that Goldsmith's been looking for. That's still side by side. Great racing between these two. Wedden could easily have run Goldsmith around the outside. He's gone round the outside of Ollie Wedden. What a move that is by Jack Goldsmith into the lead here at Buckmore Park with 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Wedden goes back for the inside though. Change for the lead again. That won't officially be a lead change, of course, as they come over the line. They're coming round Cafe Corner, still side by side. There's contact round Cafe Corner, one of the fastest corners on the circuit. Who's going to have the lead over the line? Oh no, Limitless Racing did edge it over the line. Well, I thought that if Goldsmith was through it that he'd take off into the lead, but no, Wedden has fought back brilliantly here. Back into the lead then, through hairpin 1. Do we have to have the number 6 come in for a pit stop? This is fantastic. 27 still at the inside through the fast sweeper again, and I think this time Jack Goldsmith, oh no, there's a back marker, out of control down the hill, has no idea what's coming up behind him. Black flag for the number 22 RGP manager team. That could be crucial, but Goldsmith is now through past Ollie Wedden. Limitless Racing back to the lead of the race then with 4 minutes to go. Now surely the number 6 will come in for a pit stop in the next couple of laps to serve their second pit stop. As I say, the number 22 RGP manager team have had a black flag. At least I saw one on timing. That might just put WTF1's A team and Matthew Gallagher back into the top 10. We'll wait and see. 14's having a go at number 6. They're a lap or so down. Not long in this 1 hour endurance race. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's been absolutely fantastic from start to finish here at Buckmore Park. But now Goldsmith starting to show the pace he has in that number 27. He took pole position. He was clear by half a second in qualifying. He's been untouchable so far today. And he's probably got, what, 4 laps to go. Into hairpin 1 goes the leader. 1.5 seconds the gap between Limitless Racing and P&O Ferries. Eurobandit's still there in third place. They've had a really good race. They are 1.7 seconds clear of Jack Dex Racing in fourth place. Ultima in fifth. Custom Raceware up to 6th. Will's the fastest one, 7th. And IGP Manager, who've had that black flag, and they've come back out in 8th place. So lost 2 positions there. Two and a half minutes to go then, and I think we know who's going to win this one, barring any disasters. Limitless Racing. The team of Jack Goldsmith and James Doherty have been untouchable. They lost the lead for a little bit as the pit stops worked their way through, but that fantastic battle with P&O Ferries that you saw a couple of moments ago have given them the lead in this race. 2.8 seconds to go. I can see Piers Pryor in the pink helmet getting ready for a pit stop, so this alternative strategy by P&O Ferries is going to see him jump back in for probably the last lap of the race. Eurobandit's still there in third. WTF1 and Matthew Gallagher currently, I can tell you, is 11th, and he's got some really good pace, 52s, which for a relatively inexperienced driver around this place, that's pretty good. News on the other WTF1 team, they're currently in 24th position. We're waiting, of course, for P&O Ferries. I think they should retain second place. Pit stops taking, I think, about 10 seconds, 10, 12 seconds maybe. And they are currently 25.5 seconds clear of this kart here, the number 11 Eurobandits team. 1 minute to go then. Leader is currently midway round the circuit, so there'll be this lap plus one more. There's the number 24 Jack Dex Racing kart. JDR, a team that run quite a few MSA operations, but use arrive and drive karting as a means to develop their drivers' racecraft. Oh, it's a big moment there for Euro Bandits, and this actually is the battle for third place. This might not be over. A lot of time was lost there by Euro Bandits as we are now on the last lap. There is your leader. So let's just keep an eye on the battle for third place. And just to let you know, I don't think P&O Ferries have pitted yet. They've not actually pitted for their second pit stop. So whether they're going to do something akin to Michael Schumacher Silverstone 98 and pit on the last lap will remain to see. But here comes Jack Goldsmith. What a drive by Limitless Racing. Goldsmith and Doherty have been unstoppable here today at Buckmore Park, and Limitless Racing win the first ever WTF1 Karting Grand Prix here at Buckmore Park. And yet, sure enough, there goes Ollie Wedden into the pit stops to do a slightly bizarre driver change. Piers Pryor will roll it out over the line to take second place. Great celebration there from number 19. There it is. So second place for P&O Ferries. Third place, is it going to be Euro Bandits? Is it going to be JDR? We're waiting for them coming up the hill. Oh, they are so close. They're bumper to bumper as they come past me in the commentary box over Cafe Corner. It's going to be a drag race to the line, and just ahead is the number 11, and they take it by 0.111 of a second ahead of JDR in fourth. Ultima will finish in fifth place. Custom Racewear, who had a spin after being taken out by a back marker midway through that race, will finish sixth. Those were your runners on the lead lap. Will's the fastest one in seventh. IGP Manager eighth. Nice Guys finished last. They're clearly not nice guys because they didn't finish last. They take ninth place. TJS Racing in 10th. Matthew Gallagher comes home in 11th place for WTF1's first team, and I think that's a pretty good result for Matthew. I think he's learnt a lot today. His pace was pretty good. Whiplash in 12th place. Team 35 in 13th place. Then it was Team 114, Subby 3, Race Active 2, Team 30, HSS Racing, Team ILR 1, Castamard LOL in 20th, Subby 1, Team 23, WTF1's B Team in 23rd, Team 26, Team 31, Team 34, Team 32, Subby 2, Team 10 and Race Active 1 wrapping out the top 30, Team 33, 4Q Racing, Team 9, Team ILR 2 and Exquisite wrapping out the 35 runners who finished the first ever WTF1 Grand Prix. There's your winner then, Jack Goldsmith, with the checkered flag taking a lap of honour. And that was a very, very impressive drive. Not just in the racing, qualifying as well. Took pole position, bossed the start, took the lead. Had a big challenge from Piers Pryor and Ollie Wedden in the P&O Ferries kart. They tried a very interesting strategy, which on another day might have worked for the win of the race, but in the end it's second place for them. And don't count out James Doherty's efforts as well. James Doherty, who drove so hard to pull in P&O Ferries in the middle of the race. A fantastic display from both of those drivers. Do keep your comments coming in. Hello to Anthony Mays, who's thanking us for the stream and the commentary. Thank you very much, Anthony. Hope you've enjoyed it. You can follow us on Facebook, like Alpha Live. And also we've got a page for the commentary as well, Double Dash Motorsport Media. So do like both of those pages. And of course like the WTF1 Facebook page as well, if you don't already. And also to our viewers on YouTube as well, you can subscribe to WTF1. This is going to sound like I'm biased, but I'm not biased. Genuinely one of the best channels on the YouTube platform. I was having a watch of the video last night with Darren Turner with Matt in the simulators down at Base Performance Simulators. Very good watch, so do subscribe for more content. And I think that's about it for the racing. I think we're going to try and get a couple of the drivers in the interview pen post-race, have a chat with them, see how they found that one. Matt's just walked back into the into the media room here. He looks very, very warm. Big round of applause from Lando Norris as well. Really, really good drive that from Matthew. 11th place. Had some good battles along the way as well. I'm hoping in a moment that we'll have some highlights of the race as well to watch back. Hello to Motor Nerve and Sage on YouTube, who said that was a fun race. It was a fun race. It flew by, 1 hour round Buckmore Park. See the winners coming in as well, Jack Goldsmith and James Doherty for Limitless Racing. What a fantastic job by them. Hello to Jason 10K as well. He says, Grande Machina, grazie ragazzi. Indeed. Could not have put it better myself. Do stick about, folks. We have got a few interviews coming up for you. Have a chat with some of the drivers and how they found that that 1 hour endurance race around Buckmore Park. True Racer on YouTube. Yo, is Matt a pay driver? Well, I think that's a little harsh. And I think, are we now good to pass over to Matt? We are going to be good to pass over to Matt. Matt's got the race winners with him.
Here we are, the winners. I'm unfortunately not part of that. James and Jack, the winners of the inaugural WTF1 Grand Prix, obviously the biggest Grand Prix on the calendar for anyone. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing. First of all, thank you for hosting the event.
You're welcome.
It's been amazing. Not couldn't have done it without this man. He's absolutely special, a beast around here, and yeah, it's just amazing to win the first one.
Jack, you're a beast around here. How do you take those comments?
Take them lightly, I suppose. I mean, I've been racing around here for a good 2.5 years now. Been doing endurance racing for 2 years, and to be honest, it's one of the best things I've done. And to be partnered up with James for this race, it's honestly a special moment for myself as well.
Special moment. So first place doesn't go. You don't go away untrophyable. I don't know what the word is. Do we have the trophy? We don't have the trophy. We'll have the trophy shortly. But the Grand Prix itself as a whole, we had the little pre-show, which I hope you guys enjoyed as well. And the race format, do you feel like, with only 2 of you, because usually it was a 3-man team, with 2 of you, was it very much Jack carrying you, James, or are you happy with your performance as well?
Yeah, I think I pretty much was backpacked the whole time. But yeah, I think the format was absolutely amazing. With seeing the cars go around here, I've never seen that. I've been going here for 20 years now and seeing an old F1 car around here is pretty amazing. And yeah, the format, we had a strategy. We were quite sweaty coming into this, so we had a bit of a strategy coming in mind, but hopefully make it into a series in the future. I'd love to see that. And yeah, hopefully back next year if you do.
And I'm literally sweating. You were sweaty in the terms of practicing and whatnot. And obviously you're wearing your Renault sport gear as well, being one of the drivers for the esports series. Obviously showing it off for the cameras, nice. And you've done pretty well by winning as well. Jack, what do you do and what do you hope to do? Is there anything like racing-wise that you want to do?
I would like to hopefully move into like endurance and cars, but it's just money dependent at the moment. My ultimate goal is to do the 24-hour Le Mans. Big push, but never give up.
Nice. So we don't have a check, unfortunately. It is literally just a trophy. But that is it. Are we done? We're done. Oh my God, we're done. How is it already done? I was like, woke up this morning so excited that the Grand Prix was going to happen, and now we're done. The WTF1 Grand Prix has finished. Thank you to Andrew over on the comms box. It's been an absolute pleasure. And from all of us here at WTF1, and obviously these guys as well, the winners of the inaugural WTF1 Grand Prix, goodbye.